Hello, my super readers. Today, I will be reading a book called Ruthie and the Not So Teeny Tiny Lie by Laura Rankin. Here is what I want you to do for me. Look at the cover of the book and think about what the story will be about. If you guess that she took something that do not belong to her because her hand is behind her back, you are right. If you also guessed about telling lies, you are also correct. In the story, we will be learning about telling the truth. And telling the truth is very important. Are you ready to follow along? Because I am ready to read. Now, when I start the book, I want you to follow along. And when you hear this sound, that means you should turn the page. Are you ready to know what will happen in the story? I am, so let's start to read. Ruthie loved tiny things. The tinier, the better. Her toys were the teeniest imaginable. She had dinky dinosaurs, itty-bitty trains, ponies no bigger than your pinkies, and teddy bears that were barely there. Ruthie loved finding tiny treasures too. At the beach, she searched for the smallest seashells. The flowers she picked were no bigger than fairy wings. She even had an eggshell from a hummingbird. And wherever Ruthie went, she carried some teeny things in her pocket. One day at school recess, after jump ropes and swings, Ruthie took a turn on the twirling bars. When she landed, she saw something in the grass. It was a little box with a tinsy window and an even tinier button on top. She couldn't believe her luck. It was a teeny tiny camera. Ruthie looked through its little window. Then she pressed the button on the top to take a picture. Click! Just like a real camera. This was absolutely the best thing Ruthie had ever found. And it was hers. Click! Click! She tried it out every which way. Say cheese, clouds, click. Say cheese, little bug, click. Say cheese, school, click. Say cheese, Martin, click. But Martin didn't say cheese. Martin said, "Hey, that's my camera." Ruthie was startled. "No, it's not. It's mine." "Give it to me," said Martin. "It's mine." "It is not. It's too." "No, it's not," shouted Ruthie, and she raced back to the class. "What's going on?" asked Mrs. Olson. "Ruthie's got my camera," cried Martin. "I got it for my birthday, and I dropped it on the playground." But Ruthie wanted that teeny tiny camera in the worst way. "It's mine," she yelled. "I got it for my birthday." Well, that wasn't true at all. Not one teeny tiny bit. Mrs. Olson looked at Martin. She looked at Ruthie. "Goodness, this is a problem," she said. "The camera can't belong to both of you. I'll keep it safe in my desk drawer for now. Let's talk about it again tomorrow." Ruthie's stomach flip-flopped all the rest of the day. She couldn't remember the answer to 2 plus 2. When Miss Olson read a story, every word flew straight out the window. The bus ride home took forever. "Hi, Ruthie," said Mama. "How was school?" "Okay," mumbled Ruthie. Dinner was macaroni and cheese, Ruthie's favorite, but she couldn't eat, not one little bite. "Aren't you feeling well?" asked Papa. "I'm not hungry," she said. At bedtime, Ruthie was close to tears. "What's the matter?" asked Mama. So Ruthie told Mama and Papa the whole story. "What did you think went wrong?" asked Papa. "I said it was my camera," cried Ruthie. "But it's not." "It's gonna be okay," said Papa. "You made a mistake, and tomorrow you can fix it. I think Mrs. Olson and Martin will understand." But the next morning, Ruthie could barely eat. Maybe Miss Olson wouldn't understand. Maybe Ruthie will have to sit in the timeout corner. Maybe Martin will never talk to her again. Maybe no one will ever talk to her again. Not one teeny whiny word. The school bell was about to ring. Ruthie took a deep breath and began the long walk to the front of the room. Mrs. Olson's desk seemed very far away. "Good morning, Ruthie," said Mrs. Olson. "I have something to tell you," said Ruthie in a very small voice. "The camera isn't mine. I didn't get it for my birthday. I found it on the playground." Mrs. Olson didn't make her sit in the timeout corner. She didn't even look mad. Instead, she gave Ruthie a hug and kissed the top of her head. "Thank you for telling the truth," said Mrs. Olson. "That took a lot of courage." "I'm very sorry, Martin," said Ruthie. "It's okay," said Martin. All at once, Ruthie's stomach stopped flip-flopping. She even skipped a little on the way back to her desk. She got the right answer to 3 plus 7 in math. After lunch, Mrs. Olson read the funniest story Ruthie had ever heard. And on the short bus ride home, Ruthie realized she didn't miss the teeny tiny camera. Not one teeny tiny bit. Did you enjoy the story? I did, and I learned a lot about not taking things that do not belong to me. We need to leave things that do not belong to us so we may not end up telling lies. Hope you will read this book again. Have a great day, and remember to always tell the truth.